Hello, English 101 students. I wanted to make a video going over, excuse me, how to cite from both the Occupational Outlook Handbook and from the Alabama Transfers Guide, because I'm assuming that most of you are going to be using those two sites in your career essay. But not only that, I'm going to show you how to do a citation of a short work from a website, which is going to be the majority of your citations. And if it's a short work from a website that has an author, you just put the author at the beginning of it instead of the title of the article. So that's certainly something there. Okay, so I'm going to actually start on a typical 101 Canvas page. Everybody's going to have this in their Modules tab. You have an MLA Formatting Guides module, okay? And within that, you have links to how to format in Word, formatting MLA papers, and MLA sample paper, all that stuff. You should know this already, but it's not a bad reminder. Now, what I'm going to be using here is Chapter 19 and the MLA portions of Chapter 20 from the textbook, which you should be using as well. I've already downloaded it and gotten to the correct page that I want. Okay, so what we're going to be primarily using, article in a non-periodical online publication. As you can see here, it's on 483, so we scroll down until we get there. There's 483, an article in a non-periodical online publication. This is how you're going to cite a lot of your online sites. So we see here, we have an author, last name, first name, title of the article, container, which is CNN.com, sponsor, since it's a slightly different name than the website, People News Network, date updated, and the URL, and I would like you to include the date accessed at the end. MLA says it's optional, but I would like to see when you accessed it, so if I go to look up your source and it's been updated since then I know you've got the right one. Okay, so this is the style that we're going to use. Once again, we're on page 483 of your textbook, and this is in Chapter 20 if the pages are different in your online version of the textbook, if that's what you've got. Okay, so let's do the work to put together the citation. Now, I don't have a career selected yet, and I'm going to use the same term that I used for the STARS guide. Okay, so registered nurses. And as I've said in class, and I said on the using library resources PowerPoint, each of these tabs is a different source. Okay, each of them has a different title. Okay, so we'll just use what they do as our example. Now, we can look up and down and see if there's an author, and there's no author on this. Okay, this suggested citation is incorrect. If you use this, I will know, and you'll be marked down for it. You have to cite it properly. But we do have a last modified date. Not every website's going to provide this, but we do have a last modified date here. Okay, so we'll start with the title of the article. What's the title of the article? Well, you might say, oh, it's the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Nope, that's the title of the website. Here is the title of our article, What Registered Nurses Do. So, I have a Word document here. And we're going to do a Works Cited page. Now, it's my preference to do it in single space and then double space manually because it avoids the hyperlink issues. Or not, excuse me, not the hyperlink, but the auto-formatting issues that some of you may encounter. But this is the web version of Word that everybody has. You can just go to your email, go to the apps, and you're going to have Word there. Okay, so now we got to make sure that we're single space. So on the three dots, one of your options is going to be the paragraph option. You need to go to More Paragraph Options, and then line spacing single, but here's the thing that we need to change. And if you have had the comment on any of your papers so far, that your spacing between paragraphs is too big, this is probably the culprit. We need to set this to 0 as well. The spacing before and after. Set that to 0. We've got single space. Click OK. So, title of the article. I want to make sure I get it right because I was talking. What registered nurses do. What registered nurses do. Okay? I have an issue. I'm going to go ahead and select all and make sure we're in the right font, which is Times New Roman. There we go. All right, so that's the title of the website. But if we go back, oops. The next thing on there, all right, so we've got the article title, title of the website. So we go back to our source, Occupational Outlook Handbook. All right. Name of the website needs to be in italics. Okay, turn off italics. Got the website. Now we need the name of the sponsor. So we go back to our source. Sponsors this. U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's our sponsor. All right, so we go U.S. Okay, so it goes on to the next line. Here's the advantage of doing it in single space. Paper has to be double spaced, so we're double spacing manually. And if I hit return and indent, notice it doesn't indent the entire thing. Okay, so we've got name of the website, name of the sponsor. The next thing, as we know, is going to be the date it was updated. It needs to be in this format. We need a comma, and then the URL. Okay, so I just have to do this correctly. It was 29 August 2024, comma, and then our URL. Now here's something that may happen when you copy and paste this. I'm copying it. Okay, it didn't it didn't do what I was worried about, which is creating a hyperlink. For example, if I do it in just Word in the program, which I have on my computer, when I hit return, sometimes it'll create what's called a hyperlink, okay, where it's just the words. But what you can do is you click on Edit Hyperlink, and then you can select the text to display. So, for example, here I could change it to OOH Hyperlink. And it says this, but if we go to Edit, you can just copy the address and use that as the text to display. Okay, so back to our citation. Watching this in the future, of course, it's going to seem maybe time ago. But this is the basics of an online citation without an author. Title, website, sponsor if you have one, or if the sponsor's name isn't the same as the name of the website. So if it's, for example, Britannica, as we saw on the documentation exercise, we don't include the sponsor because the name of the sponsor is the same as the website. Now, if we had an author to this, and it's going to screw up our formatting a little bit, but we would have the author in front of it, okay? All right. So, that is how to cite the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Now, I'm going to actually put that down a line because we need to alphabetize. the works cited. And I probably should include the title. Works cited. Notice it's not in bold, no colon, none of that. I centered it, move it back to the left, space, here we go. So now we're on to the Alabama Transfers Guide. Now, the first thing I want to show you is what you need to have copied and pasted to your paper. You just need this first page that has created how many pages? There's one of one, but that's not the case. I just need your information. It shows the major. So the rest of this stuff we can just delete. Okay? So it shows your name, the major, and all that good stuff. Or another option is you can just take this part, shows the major, shows your name and information, and if you press the print screen button, okay, you can select what to copy. I did print screen, and what I did there was I selected the part that I wanted to copy, and I just paste it, okay? This is probably the easier way to go. Once again, the way that we do that is we select print screen on our keyboard, and it should give you this ability to select what you want to copy. You copy it, and then you can paste it, okay? It's up to you how you want to do it as long as you have that at the end of your paper, okay, after the works cited page. All right, so to how to cite the STARS guide. So, again, we don't have an author, but we do want to scroll down to the bottom just to check, like we would with any website. All right, does it have a date updated? Okay, adopted 8/14/98, but it was amended on the 11th of July, 2003. Okay, well, then that's our date updated. So we go back to our works cited. We go with the title of the article, which is the title of the major. Okay, there we go. Title of the website is going to be in italics. So we go back to our source. What's the title of the website? Alabama Transfers. Okay. Alabama Transfers. Now, sponsor's a little tricky, but we need to at least look for one. All right. You scroll down. We don't really have a sponsor for the website, so we go on to the next thing that we have. Date updated. 11 July 2003. Okay? That's the date we have, is the date updated. Comma. Now we have the URL. So we go up here, copy the URL, put it into our citation. Now we have to double space it, indent, date access. Accessed 5, remember, the 5th of November. It's Guy Fawkes Day in the UK. You know what that is? It'd be fun to look it up. All right, and then we press return, so we have double space. We're reverse indented, and now we have a citation for our transfer guide. Now remember, with Alabama Transfers, you don't have to create a works cited entry if you don't use it in your paper. If you are just putting it after the works cited page, back up to the top, another screen share, or print screen rather. You can just put it on the same page as your works cited, or you could even put it on another page if you want. You would do that by clicking Insert, Page Break, and it's on the next page. Okay, and then just real quick, one thing I do want to show you, because some students have struggled with it, make sure that you have your page numbers in the correct font. So I'm selecting page numbers, upper right, last name. Now notice, if we go to the Home tab, it's not in the correct font. So what we have to do is we have to select it and put it in Times New Roman 12-point font. Okay? And when we click out of it, we have our page number. Okay? All right, so that's how to cite the Alabama Transfers Guide and how to cite the Occupational Outlook Handbook for your papers. I hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions, of course, you can let me know.